Did you know a single large energy drink can contain more caffeine than 3 cups of coffee, plus a mix of other stimulants your body has to process all at once? And yet, energy drinks are sold right next to soda in every gas station and grocery store in the country. So which is it? Are these things actually dangerous? Or is this just another moral panic, like the ones we've seen before with video games or rock music? Let's actually look at what's in these drinks, what the research says, and figure out where the real risk is. Let's start with the obvious ingredient, caffeine. A typical energy drink can range anywhere from 80 milligrams of caffeine, similar to a cup of coffee, all the way up to 300 milligrams or more in some of the larger, more concentrated cans. For context, health agencies generally consider around 400 milligrams a day to be a reasonable upper limit for most healthy adults. So one large energy drink can already put you close to that daily limit before you've had any coffee, tea, or soda. But caffeine isn't the only thing going on. Most energy drinks also include a cocktail of other ingredients: taurine, an amino acid, guarana, which itself contains caffeine, on top of the caffeine already listed on the label, B vitamins, and sometimes sugar in amounts that rival a full can of soda. Here's the part that actually matters for the "how dangerous is this" question. It's not just about any single ingredient. It's about how these ingredients interact and how much of the whole thing a person drinks in a short period of time. So where do things actually go wrong? Research and health agencies point to a few specific situations, rather than energy drinks being universally dangerous for everyone who ever touches one. The first is quantity and speed. Drinking one energy drink slowly over an afternoon is a very different situation than drinking 2 or 3 back-to-back in a short window, especially when mixed with other caffeinated drinks like coffee or soda on top. The second is who's drinking them. Health organizations have repeatedly flagged concerns specifically around children, teenagers, pregnant people, and anyone with an existing heart condition. Growing bodies and hearts that already have an underlying issue are simply more sensitive to large, fast doses of stimulants than a healthy adult would be. The third is mixing energy drinks with alcohol. This combination has drawn particular attention from researchers because the stimulant effect can mask how intoxicated someone actually feels, which can lead people to drink more alcohol than they otherwise would, without realizing it. So the honest answer isn't energy drinks are poison or energy drinks are totally harmless. It's that risk is heavily concentrated in specific situations: large quantities, certain age groups and health conditions, and mixing with alcohol. You've probably seen headlines linking energy drinks to sudden hospitalizations or worse. These stories are real and they're worth taking seriously, but it's worth understanding what's actually happening in most of these cases before assuming every can on the shelf is a ticking time bomb. In a lot of the most serious reported cases, the person involved had consumed an unusually large quantity in a short period, had an underlying heart condition they may not have known about, or combined the drink with alcohol or other stimulants. Sudden cardiac events involving caffeine are relatively rare in the general healthy population, but they do become more likely at high doses, combined with certain pre-existing conditions. There's also a marketing angle worth mentioning. Energy drink companies have leaned heavily into extreme sports, gaming, and high-intensity branding for years, which puts these products directly in front of younger audiences, even though many of these products aren't intended or recommended for kids and teens. That gap between the marketing and the actual target audience is part of why regulators in several countries have pushed for warning labels or age restrictions on the most concentrated products. Here's where this lands. For a healthy adult, having an energy drink occasionally and being aware of your total caffeine intake across everything you drink in a day isn't the reckless choice the scariest headlines make it sound like. The real danger zone is pretty specific. Stacking multiple energy drinks in a short window, mixing them with alcohol, giving them to kids or teens, or drinking them if you already have a heart condition you know about, or one you haven't been checked for. This is honestly a similar pattern to a lot of things we consume. Coffee, alcohol, even intense exercise, all carry real risk at extreme levels, or for certain people, while being totally reasonable for most people in normal amounts. Energy drinks aren't some uniquely evil category. They just combine several stimulant sources into one can, which makes it easier to accidentally consume more than you realize. So the answer isn't a simple yes or no. Energy drinks aren't harmless candy, but they're also not the instant heart attack in a can that some headlines make them out to be. The actual risk depends heavily on how much you're drinking, how often, what you're mixing it with, and who you are. If you're a generally healthy adult having one occasionally and paying attention to your total caffeine intake across the day, you're not in the danger zone the scariest stories describe. The real caution flags are for kids, people with heart conditions, and anyone mixing these with alcohol or downing several in a row. Let me know in the comments, do you drink energy drinks regularly, or have you cut them out after hearing some of these stories? And if you want more videos breaking down whether the things we consume every day are actually as dangerous as the headlines say, make sure to subscribe.